Hello, and welcome back. It's the Afro Humanist. The title of this video says, This pastor, his God, caused an earthquake to happen. Right, let's get into this. I've decided to speak on this particular pastor because he has the most churches in Africa. He has churches all over the world. He is the man with the most churches all over Africa. His church spans all over the world. As at the last time I checked, I'm sure they said his church has over 40,000 branches. Over 40,000 branches. Okay, so it goes to show how important this man is to Christianity in Africa. Okay, so you're going to hear him speak. I'm going to let him tell you himself what his God did. His God caused an earthquake to happen. When I tell you that Christianity is a mess, it is a mess. Now God is causing earthquakes to happen. So the next time an earthquake happens around you, it might just be a pastor, a preacher has prayed and his God has decided to answer him in the form of an earthquake. Okay, let's hear what he has to say about his God creating or causing an earthquake.
And I'll tell you a story. Some of you have heard it before. I've been general overseer. I've gone to South Korea. I've met Young Cho. I had prayed my heart out. The church was not doing too badly, but it wasn't anything like what I wanted. I had moved to this camp so I can pray in the night like I wanted. Because when we first came to this campground, the only people who could be disturbed would be antelopes and serpents. And if I begin to roar in the night, anybody who will say, "Why are you shouting?" I will say, "What are you doing here yourself?" And I remember that night, as if it happened only yesterday, was walking in the camp. The camp was much smaller than the main road. Then was the Holiness Road. And I cried to God. I became desperate. I said to God, "Lord, I told you when I was born again, I don't want to be an ordinary Christian. I told you when I became a pastor, when you forced me to become a pastor, that I don't want to be an ordinary pastor." Remember desperate prayers.
Guys, did you hear that? I'll take it back for a quick second. I need you to hear what he said. God forced him to be a pastor. He's not a pastor of his own will. He's been forced by God to be a pastor. So when they talk about free will and all this, where's your free will? When God forces you to be a pastor. Let me take it back. And I would not interrupt any further. Let's hear him.
The pastor. I said to God, "Lord, I told you when I was born again, I don't want to be an ordinary Christian. I told you when I became a pastor, when you forced me to become a pastor, that I don't want to be an ordinary pastor." Remember desperate prayers. Does not respect protocol. And now you made me a general overseer, contrary to all my plans. And I told you I don't want to be an ordinary general overseer. I don't want it. So God, I hope you are listening. Let's set. It's either you empower me desperate prayers. And suddenly, there was an earthquake. Those who are old enough will remember. Probably the only earthquake that ever happened in Ogun State. That pictures hung on the wall in Ijebu-Ode, Shagamu, were dropping off. They didn't know the source of the earthquake. It was here, on this camera. I can still show you the spot where I was standing. I knew then he had heard me. I knew then the answer has come. I am believing God for someone has come. I am believing God for someone here today. A very special earthquake for you and you alone is going to occur as you pray.
Okay, guys, you heard the man's prayer. He wanted God to show him that God is, he wants power from God. God has forced him to be a pastor, a shepherd. But somehow he needs God to show himself, answer him, prove himself. And how does God decide to show this man answers to his prayers? By causing an earthquake. Guys, I need you to understand this, that this man's answer to his prayers is shown by an earthquake. I went and looked to see whether this earthquake, did people die in this earthquake? But to be honest, I couldn't find any information about this earthquake that supposedly happened in Nigeria. I couldn't find the details. But think about it. We know what an earthquake, the damage that an earthquake can cause. People die in earthquakes. Houses are lost. The man was talking about pictures falling off the wall. So no, we're not going to think about the damage that this earthquake has caused. But we're just going to, it's about me. It's about my special prayers with my God. My God causes earthquakes to happen to others simply because he wants to answer my prayers, my special prayers. And God has caused this earthquake to happen. He didn't stop there. He also went on to pray that his members, each one of them, will have answers to their prayers through earthquakes. Guys, when I tell you that Christianity has gotten to a place where the insensitivity of people, that now your prayers are being answered through earthquakes, it is sickening. It is very very as long as it's not killing me, it's killing others. But God is using the earthquake to answer your prayers. Guys, when I heard this, I think for Christians, when they hear it, they might think, okay, oh, how powerful God is. God has answered this man's prayers. But for me, I don't see it that way. I think this is evil. Well, to be honest, I don't believe this story. I really don't. What kind of God creates earthquakes? I don't. But I just need you to think about the mindset that we are praying now for earthquakes to happen. I'm praying for individual earthquakes to happen for each and every member of this man. Has multitudes of people in his church. Wow. Guys, let me know what you think about this man's the title is How My Desperate Prayer Caused an Earthquake. Can you imagine that this is the prayer of some Christians? They pray desperate prayers to cause earthquakes. Wow, what can I say? Let me know what you think. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.